I spent 12 years on the pages of Facebook attempting to bring clarity on issues hard to understand while pushing a demand for police accountability across the nation. In light of the heartbreak and confusion concerning the funeral services of Erica Garner and her grandmother, the mother of Eric Garner, being kicked out and prevented from saying their final goodbye, the need arose to attempt to bring clarity. I am a mother who lost a child at the hands of police, so I know what it is to have to bury a child. And I also understand the anger at hearing a grandmother who happens to be the mother of Eric Garner murdered on video for all to see being thrown out of funeral services for the granddaughter who waged a vigorous fight attempting to get justice for him. It's enough to make you faint, for it's been one tragedy, one heartache after another. And this family cannot be pitted against one another for the sake of political expediency. So I bring it to the public in the hopes that they won't feed into it. Erica's funeral was well attended by ministers of various denominations, political officials, and those in entertainment. The public viewing began at 4 p.m., with the funeral services beginning from 5 to 7. Many arrived early and were able to pay their respects. Then a terrible situation arose as mothers who supported Gwen Carr, the mother of Eric Garner, awaited for her arrival. They were told that if they were waiting for Gwen, she's not invited. And a call was placed to ascertain if in fact she was on her way by those who announced she was not invited. She informed them that she was 20 minutes away and would be there shortly, but was then told that when she arrived, the Reverend Sharpton and the person making the call would need to speak with her. The mother of Eric Garner arrived, and she was stopped at the entrance. Present in the lobby with her were members of the Justice Committee, the mother of Tamir Rice, Ramali Graham, Valerie Bell, Amadou Diallo, and several other mothers who had children murdered by police, some of whom came from out of state to support her in her grief, as well as pay their respects for the young woman who fought for her father, Erica Garner. A heated dispute arose, and the issue was whether or not she'd be allowed in. What the public does not know is that long-standing issues within the family had escalated to the degree that Erica's grandmother had been barred from even visiting Erica while in the hospital. She was removed from off the visitors list to see her own granddaughter. And without outlining the reasons, the lines had been drawn, and it was understood the Garner presence would not be welcomed at this funeral. So what's a grandmother to do? Do you simply walk away following the death of your grandchild? Or do you hope adults can be adults for the sake of the dearly departed? Mrs. Carr hoped for the best, but what she found was the worst in people. People who had decided they meant what they said when they said she was not invited. What you are about to see will shock you and sadden you, and hopefully bring clarity on who is responsible for putting the mother of Eric Garner out of the funeral services for her granddaughter.
Emerald, get Emerald. Oh my God, Scotty. Hey! She pushed her. like everybody needs to see what's going on. That's crazy, yo.
That's Eric's mother. I don't care what's going on in the family. You do not ban somebody's grandmother from a funeral. That's what happened. The other family members. Obviously, we didn't plan this funeral. We're just here to show our respect to Erica.
Gwen Carr is a warrior for justice. She deserves to be in that building. This is an abomination to the whole movement. And it shall not be tolerated. I'm ashamed of everything that happened. She should be heartbroken. And Erica is turning over in her grave. God rest her soul.
What you have just witnessed is indeed heartbreaking, but I believe sheds light on how it occurred and by whom. Blame has been passed from the church who hosted the service to Al Sharpton who presided over it. But the call and demand for Eric Garner's mother to be put out was not by the church, nor even Al Sharpton, but by the granddaughters of Eric Garner's mother. Those are the women in the video, one calling to the other who had her removed. Without question, attempts ought to have been made to mediate an already volatile situation. No one could have expected that the end result would be a very public display of long-standing tensions within the family, resulting in the exclusion of all members of the Garner family from attending this service. But it did. It resulted in further injury to the heart at a time when loss of a loved one was being felt. We don't need to know logic and reason behind acts such as this to know a deep, deep pain, even death couldn't overlook, was present and acting out because of it. What we need to know is how people are hurting, and the acts being committed one against the other point to pain if we'd only care to see it. There is no justifying acts such as these, and we can condemn it if we choose to. But it is that same pain that hides in our midst, pretending all is well when all is not. Add to it the thousands wrongly arrested, murdered by police without cause, and the society which deems it just because the majority of those slain by police come from families such as these, who have issues accepted as normal, for it's all they've ever known. They are invisible to society, unimportant, cast-outs. How ironic that it takes a murder for them to be seen, heard, and listened to. Something many have never experienced in their life. Something one would fight for to keep and maintain. How unfortunate to have it manipulated and used on the agenda of others while led to believe you're making change for the good of all. Consider your own family and the issues existing there that are not so public as this. You may discover the only difference is yours is hidden while theirs is made public.